Coming up at 6 a.m., a new scam warning out of Jefferson County about a con targeting survivors of domestic violence.
This is a headache, we understand, we're sympathetic to that, but this is the way we have to manage this for our growth.
A busy school zone is about to get even busier thanks to construction. What's being done to keep traffic flowing?
A free music festival taking over Copper Mountain this week. We are live in the mountains with a preview of the big end of summer party.
Well, good Tuesday morning. We start the 6 o'clock hour with a look at a rainbow that was captured by viewer John Hernandez. Look how gorgeous this is. It was spotted right before Santana started performing at Red Rocks last night.
What a cool view.
That is very cool. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey Rose.
And I'm Steve Stager. Jaden Knowles joins us from the 9 backyard. And Jaden, pretty warm out there again, but it's nice right now.
It is very nice right now. We're talking about the low 60s. We have the upper 80s in the forecast. Not quite as warm as what we saw yesterday. Yesterday, officially, we hit 91 degrees, but we're still tracking some scattered shower activity as we head into the afternoon hours. So as I mentioned, as you're heading out the door, maybe heading out to the bus stop, well, you might believe it. You might even need a light jacket. 60 degrees here in downtown Denver, 62 over Central Park, and also 61 degrees in Centennial. Temperatures statewide, noticing the upper 60s for the Eastern Plains, 71 degrees over towards Grand Junction. We're seeing some scattered shower activity on the Nebraska-Kansas state line there, but for the most part, we are nice and dry. Really no rain in my forecast for the morning hours until this afternoon. Noticing that level 1 risk shaded over in green, and then also level 2 down towards the southeast, so we could see a stronger storm or two, mainly over towards the Eastern Plains. Here's your forecast today. The upper 80s, 89 degrees is what I'm forecasting. And later on in the show, we'll talk more in detail about what we can expect and, of course, the impacts and the timing of when we can see these scattered showers and thunderstorm activity as well. Brianna?
Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's 6 o'clock for your Tuesday morning. Right now, taking a live look for anyone taking westbound to I-70 right near Peoria. So you can see it's not the best camera, and that's because CDOT moved and zoomed into that area. But we do have a crash that it's causing a mess, and we're seeing a lot of brake lights along this stretch. So I want to show you what this looks like on our maps as well and get to your drive time. So this is our first major crash of the morning because it's happening on one of our major interstates. If you're taking westbound I-70, this is happening close to Peoria. So you could see those westbound delays that we are seeing along I-70. Right now, you are slowing down to 24 miles per hour. That center lane partially blocked because that's where that crash happened. We don't have crews or a tow truck yet on scene, so please keep that in mind. South and northbound I-25 between 144th down to I-76. No issues to report. You have the green light. Definitely take advantage. Only a 9-minute drive.
Brianna, thank you. The federal government is working on a new alert system designed to quickly find people with autism who have gone missing. It's part of a partnership between the U.S. Health Department, FEMA, and the Justice Department. The effort is meant to strengthen coordination among law enforcement and communities across the country. It comes as families across Colorado deal with the realities of autism-related wandering.
Oftentimes, the outcomes of some of these missing autistic persons end in tragic circumstances, and we don't want that for any family. So if we can work together better, faster, that is always a win for families.
And I hope this encourages local communities to take action because parents shouldn't have to live in fear.
Health and Human Services says they will provide guidance and training, but states and local agencies will decide how to use this alert within their existing systems. It's not clear exactly when they'll introduce it.
Scammers are targeting survivors of domestic violence by claiming to be cops or prosecutors. The victim gets a call from someone claiming to be a sheriff's deputy or a DA, claims to have information about the person that needs to post bail for their attacker. They ask for a payment through an app or a gift card. The truth is that no one from a jail, a police department, or a DA's office will call someone and ask them to pay any sort of bail. Candace Coolidge, the executive director of Porchlight Family Justice Center in Lakewood, says the scam works because some of those who've been abused are isolated and controlled by their abusers.
They believe that they cannot survive without the offender, and now the offender is in jail. And so, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to feed my kids?
Jefferson County authorities are seeing 2 or 3 of these cases reported each week. They know of some instances where people were conned out of several $1,000s.
Officials in Parker are looking over a new proposal that could add new tech across town to help first responders. City Council received a new public safety technology package last night during a meeting. It included adding license plate reader cameras with Axon and a new drone training program through Skydio. Documents say the tech would improve response time, increase officer safety, and help staffing challenges across the board. The Denver Gazette tells us that no decisions about the plan were made at the meeting. This comes as commissioners in Douglas County gave the green light to a similar proposal just last month.
There's renewed criticism over shot spotter technology as Denver Police's contract with that company is set to expire. The system alerts Denver's dispatch center about potential gunfire through microphones placed around the city. Since 2020, DPD says that the technology has generated more than 25,000 alerts across the city, and it's led to 103 arrests per year. And you compare that to the last 3 months alone when police made 8,000 arrests just in the second quarter of this year. Youth violence advocate Jason McBride is not convinced it's been effective, but Denver City Councilman Kevin Flynn believes it's a good tool to have.
He has wasted so much money just not listening to the citizenry who is under these things that they're trying to do.
I get tagged on social media, Councilman, I hear gunshots in such and such a neighborhood. And I always reply, did you call it into DPD? And they say no.
The 5-year, nearly $5 million contract is up in December. DPD says that they're considering alternatives, but they could also just stick with that provider.
A county in southern Colorado has declared an emergency, but it's not for a flood or a fire. It's over the lack of funding for its sheriff's office. Costilla County says it doesn't have enough deputies or funding to keep up with overtime. Staffing shortage started when the sheriff was indicted and resigned earlier this year. Then the undersheriff and deputies were also indicted. The fallout left an interim appointed sheriff with few options for maintaining public safety in the county. The county has asked the state for emergency funds to pay the overtime.
Thank you for the mutual aid help. That really is not helping our problem. Our problem right now is overtime because we don't have anybody coming in from other areas of the state to support us. And we need help with overtime. So can we reobligate those funds to help pay for overtime so we have patrols out?
Earlier this year, the state set aside emergency funds to help pay outside deputies to help. The county is now asking the state to send that money to pay overtime.
Back to school can be a bit confusing, trying to find classes, learn a new building. This morning, students at Northfield High School facing an extra challenge, parking. 9 News reporter Mackenzie Stafford is live there to explain. Mackenzie, they're struggling with this construction project going on.
Absolutely, Steve, that's right. So now students are turning to nearby neighborhoods such as this to find makeshift parking. So currently over at the Paul Sandoval campus, students don't have a parking lot. It's actually completely filled with construction gear, and any extra spots they can squeeze in are currently reserved for staff to park in. So that's why we're seeing students bring their cars over to neighboring streets such as these. People living over here in the nearby neighborhood say that aside from the backups and added traffic, they worry about student safety. Some even tell us they've seen teens get in accidents already. But Denver public school officials say the construction is necessary. It's all to build a new health clinic and auditorium for the DSST Conservatory Green High School and Northfield next door. They say they understand the headache that it's caused for the 3,000 students and staff on the Paul Sandoval campus.
This is something that we've anticipated for a while and we're working on a solution, but unfortunately at this campus we are landlocked. And so we don't have access to the property that's around us, and we're working to see what we can do to try to improve parking for our students in the future.
Now, school officials are asking students and families to carpool to class. Students are able to park over on campus after 4 o'clock for any sort of sports practices or extracurricular activities, but that construction isn't expected to wrap up until next fall. Live in Denver, Mackenzie Stafford, 9 News.
Mackenzie, thank you. Funding for a pedestrian bridge leading to Denver Summit's new soccer stadium at the Santa Fe Yards is starting to come together. The bridge will span the railroads connecting the Broadway RTD station with the women's soccer stadium. It's expected to cost up to $23 million. City Council voted last night to approve about a quarter of the funding. $4 million will come from a state grant. $1 million will come from the city. The Metropolitan District overseeing the project expects that money to cover the design portion of the bridge, maybe a little of the construction. They say the rest of the funding will come from other grants and property taxes. The stadium is set to debut by the beginning of the summit's 2029 season. Construction of the pedestrian bridge is expected to be done by 2030.
There's a scheduled sobriety checkpoint planned for this weekend. It will be at Highway 34 and Industrial Drive from Friday night into early morning hours of Saturday. State Patrol says 1 in 3 fatal crashes in Colorado involves an impaired driver. Drivers are urged to plan ahead with a designated driver, rideshare, or public transportation.
Arvada fire is proving no rescue is too small after saving a litter of kittens from a drain over the weekend. Firefighters got a call Sunday about some noises coming from a storm drain, and sure enough, they found 4 little kittens in distress. After getting them out, officers with Arvada Police and Animal Control took them to get evaluated. In a social media post, Arvada Fire says they will be up for adoption very soon.
And here's your school bus forecast, or should I say bus stop forecast. Temperatures are going to be in the low 60s. It's going to be a nice and cool start. You might even need a light jacket if you get cold rather easily. But we will warm up nicely this afternoon, getting up to the upper 80s, low 90s. Some more rain in the forecast. We'll time that out for you here shortly. But for the most part, I hope everyone has a terrific day. Brianna?
And no issues to report if you're taking I-25 all the way from Fort Collins down to Castle Rock. Right now, downtown to the Tech Center, 12 minutes if you're heading south, only 11 if you're heading north.